The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code NBA SGPN and get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football, NFL, and NBA with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, a villain real. It's Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. Well. We finally cooled off here, and now we can finally talk about it. Scott, as I bring you on, I just want to say in remembrance of my lock streak that was going on for about 2.5 weeks now of me not missing a lock. And it finally went up in flames when I was feeling myself, Scott. I sniffed myself, and I locked up the Portland Trailblazers plus 8.5. And it looked good for the first half. And then they died. And that was it. And the lock streak was over. But you know what? I do it again. Scott Studio Reichel. What's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Either I'm blind as a bat or I can't find the sweep sound effect, but I ended up sweeping my last episode, so that was pretty good. Can't complain. Do I remember what I had vaguely? I had Jalen Johnson over 4.5 assists. He ended up with 5, and then I ended up with the Josh Giddey prop. He had a triple-double, and I was
Who's
sweating out
our drop board.
I have no idea. I was sweating out the steals and blocks for Giddey, and he ended up going over the 1.5 at plus 145. So I ended up sweeping. It was an atrocious card that day. I think all 4 games were decided by 10-plus points, but I picked 2 winners there, which was nice. Overall, been good lately after a pretty slow start to the year, so hopefully that keeps going in this one. Damn, the NBA Cup games yesterday were really bad. Nothing else really add there. I know that the argument for the NBA Cup was to make the regular season more interesting, and yes, you have a couple of games of the quarterfinals coming up that look entertaining, etc. But damn, for the final day of group stage, the actual games were horrible. Look at the actual games. Only 2 of them were decided by 8 points or less on the entire card.
Well, in their defense. Well, first of all, the Mavs game should have never been.
Sorry, technically 3 because the Sixers game was 6. But you get my point. There were not many close games yesterday.
The Mavs game should have never been that close. The Grizzlies gave that game away.
Yep.
But in their defense, this is literally the last day, and like more than half of these teams are eliminated. So,
but even the games that mattered, Orlando got curb stomped. Detroit got curb stomped. The Spurs lost by double digits, and KD didn't play the second half. Even the games that mattered were pretty ugly.
The Warriors almost won. They already had everything locked up. Oh, I was really sick about that. I guess I did have a.
Well, that's all a separate story that I'm not going to dive too far into. I mean, we got time. We don't have many games, but damn, Steve Kerr and this Warriors team can't play in crunch time, which is just crazy. Because even it happened last year, and they blew a game to Denver where Joker hit that 38-footer or whatever. But they are an atrocious crunch time team, and it's been the case for years.
They're about to turn it around.
They better turn it around. They can't finish a game.
No, but I'm saying this is the 5-game stretch where they haven't figured it out. You just heard Steve Kerr call out Brandon Pajewski, which is crazy, but he called him out and said that, hey man, you're a great basketball player, but your decision making sucks. And they're about to turn around. I'm telling you, the Warriors are about to go on a run now. Warriors and Rockets in the quarterfinals, by the way. Rockets laying 2.5 at home. Or not at home, in Vegas. On a neutral
I'm not
court.
taking Golden State based on their current form. It's either Rockets or pass for
They
me.
got
We'll see what happens.
they play the Rockets on Thursday, Scott. And
Yeah.
then they have So they have the Rockets. They have a back-to-back game set against the Timberwolves and then the Rockets again. So actually not enough games for me to 100% say the Warriors have it turned around by the time they get to the quarterfinals, but I'm probably going to be on the Warriors. I'm more than likely going to be on the Warriors.
I just
can
can't
see it.
stand how this team operates in crunch time because I can't stand Steve Kerr's rotations. He
Yeah.
pulls Curry out every time Curry gets hot. He roasts Pajemski after the game for decision-making for the fouling. You're also the one playing Pajemski that much. Like, that's your fault. Like, I don't really know. We're going to blame the player, sure, but, like, you keep pulling Curry when he gets hot to bring in Pajemski. That's your fault. I just feel like Steve Kerr just doesn't have a full understanding of the rotations and why he should be letting Curry cook a bit more, especially in the fourth quarter. Getting outscored 10-0 in the final, like 2:15, it's rough out here in the fourth quarter for Golden State.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Kerr is just a creature of habit, and it's like him and Steph. I think it's just as much Steph fault as it is Steve Kerr fault, honestly. Even though I'm not like trying to put blame on Steph, but I will say Steph has been running the same exact rotations for years. He has that stretch. He plays the third quarter. Then they go and they sit him towards the end. They sit him towards the start of the fourth. And then they give him that run in the fourth so that he can finish out the game. But it's like sometimes by that point, the game is over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like you gotta, I mean, come on. When the situation calls for it, you might have to stay in the game, man. Like there's guys out here that be pulling 48 minutes. Like Steph he would not fuck with Tibbs. He would not fuck with Tibbs at all. All right, let's go ahead and get through it. We got a few games to get through. Not a large slate, not a baby small slate either, but we've got a few. Let's go ahead and look at before I get to the first game, got to make sure I remind you one more time to download the SGPN app. You can get all access to all of our shows, the NBA Gambling Podcast, the Tennis Gambling Podcast, MMA, MLB, WNBA, all that other stuff, and all the picks pages where you can see the picks that everybody's making across the network on the app for free or wherever you get your app store. So go download the SGPN app. First game up, let's start with 7:30 tip-off today. All the games have a 7:30 tip-off. No 7 o'clock game. Yeah, no 7 o'clock games. All right. Okay. That's cool. Los Angeles Lakers on the road, going to play the Miami Heat. Heat are laying 2.5. 216 is the total injury report for these two teams. And I have for the Miami Heat, it looks like Jimmy Butler is questionable. Josh Richardson's questionable. Kevin Love is questionable. Nikola Jovic is out. And we have a questionable tag on Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. Apparently, Jalen Hood Shafino has a questionable tag. I don't know how much that matters.
I
Jack,
liked him at Indiana, if that counts.
yeah, I think he has like 35 points in the league.
It's 35 more than me, so I can't really roast him for it.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. has 1,000 now.
Good player.
Yeah, man. Same draft class.
So every now and then you'll see a video on the internet of like two old guys, Kane optional, that are just fighting each other in some random location. That's this matchup between the Lakers and the Heat. It's two old guys. One is a Walker, one is a Kane, and they're just swinging at each other in public. That's what this matchup is.
Grudge match.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a grudge match without Kevin Hart. That's basically where we're at. So
I don't know. He might. It's LeBron. That's LeBron's boy. He might be in the joint. He might.
That's one of the
be in
best
there.
post-credit scenes, by the way, with Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. But that's a separate story.
Oh man, they're not a movies you've seen, Scott.
It's a good movie. What, I've seen it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here.
Do you trust either team right now in any capacity?
No, man, but so I'm just gonna go with the system play and just take the Lakers plus 2.5. I really, really don't like it at all, but I don't think any team is good. And at least what the Lakers have going for them is Miami is technically a team under 500. They're 9-10 right now, and the Lakers can actually only beat teams that are under 500. So, I mean, that's the best I got for you. But like, I don't think either one of these two teams are good. Neither one of these two teams inspire confidence in me. I could see both of these two teams. Matter of fact, Scott, that's what I could go for. Your comeback bet, because I could see both of these two teams just messing around, going on runs, getting up in the game, and then blowing a lead. Like neither one of them. I guess Miami looks better defensively right now, but they just can't score the basketball at all.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler might not play. So I think I have to go Lakers. I'm not. There's no chance I bet this game. There's no chance. But the Lakers have had question marks about on the road. They got killed by Minnesota last game. Yes, it was on a back-to-back. Whatever. LeBron was awful. He was so bad they thought people were starting the whole "he's washed" campaign again. It was on
Mhm.
a back-to-back. Whatever. He had a good game the game before that. I think with the day off, LeBron will look better. At the end of the day, without Jimmy Butler, I don't think the Heat are that good. It just is what it
Mhm.
is. And Bam's been pretty underwhelming so far this season. I actually think that AD, assuming he plays, has a pretty solid matchup here if he ends up playing in this matchup. He's expected to play, so we'll see what happens. But I think the Lakers are a bit more talented than Miami, especially if Butler's out of the lineup. If Butler's in the lineup, it's a lot more interesting. But I just think the Lakers are a bit better, not by a lot. I don't think either team's that good. It is what it is, but as you said, it's a system play. And David mentioning in the comments section, the underdog is 10-3
Yeah.
in Miami's
Appreciate
last 13.
Shout out to David from Toronto. Hey, David, make sure. Well, I'm considering. I am very much considering going to the Kendrick Lamar concert in Toronto just to just to be around the vibes and the atmosphere. So might have to do a link up with David from Toronto here. But underdog, yeah, underdog 10-3 ATS last 13.
And that
Hey,
includes the
between
Boston game where Boston killed them, which is what it is. So the point is, it was even better than that. And
no,
then
no,
go
no,
ahead.
in this matchup. No, in this matchup.
Oh, sorry, in the matchup.
Yeah,
Apologies.
yeah.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
matchup between the Lakers and Miami, the underdog is 10-3 in last
Didn't you
13.
say last year the Miami was going to win by like exactly one, and they
Yeah, and
won
I'm
by
pretty sure it
exactly
did
one in this
happen in one of
matchup?
those games.
Yeah,
Was that this?
I thought
Was
it
that
was the
this one? Yeah,
Lakers. So
the one last November, and it was like 108, 107. They were Miami was favored by 1.5, and they won by exactly 1 point.
I'll take the Lakers. I'm not going to bet this, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's got to be Lakers. All right, total.
If Butler was playing, though, I might actually consider Miami. But without knowing if Butler's going to play, I can't back. I can't back this team.
Yeah, I don't have anything on the total. I
I
mean,
I
it can
think
go either way.
yeah, I'm with you. A lot of it depends if Butler plays or not. Because if he doesn't, I don't think this team can score. But the Lakers can't guard anybody.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm on the over, but I'm not going to bet anything.
Mm, yeah, I can't get there. I really can't get there. I'm trying to. I guess maybe under, but nah, I can't get there. All right. Indiana Pacers, however, this is a game that I can definitely get to the window on. Indiana Pacers are on the road, going to play the Brooklyn Nets. Nets are catching 2.5 at home. 225.5 is the total injury report here. And we have for the Brooklyn Nets, they should be getting a lot of players back. It looks like updated. Ben Simmons has a questionable tag, but he says he is expected to play. So I guess that is upgraded to probable.
It's a big
We
deal.
have
Ben Simmons never says he's expected to play. He always
I
says
know.
maybe. So that's a
I
big deal.
know. Yeah, he actually said, "Yeah, I'm gonna play." So, let's see here. We have Cam Johnson, who looks like he might miss, but I don't know. I haven't really heard anything. He did have turned his ankle a couple of games ago against Orlando, so we'll see if he's going to be able to go. And Dorian Finney-Smith is also looks like he has an ankle sprained left ankle, and he's questionable for the game as well. We'll see if he'll be able to join back into the lineup. No Clowney, no Cam Thomas, no Zaire Williams. So they're still missing some bodies, but they could possibly be getting Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith back. Andrew Nemhard is playing in this game. He's still on that minutes restriction, but he's going to play. Probable tag on him. No Neesmith, no Shepard. All right.
This Pacers team is so underwhelming. It kind of
They suck.
drives me nuts. They
They
suck.
suck.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that this team was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
I feel like we all feel the same way right now. I mean, that game against Toronto turned out to be somewhat close at the end. They were down 20. They were getting murdered by Toronto in that game. Like, it got ugly in there. And I made this comparison. I can't tell if Terrell froze or not. I think he might have froze. Anyway, point is that I made the comparison on Twitter when I was watching that game. They remind me a lot of the 20-21 Hawks, who made that run with Trae Young before eventually losing to the Bucks in the conference finals. And I just feel like it might be one of those seasons that I'm hoping does not set the franchise back about 5 years, because the front office will get complacent. They'll think that the next year's a fluke, or that the next year is potentially a sign of regression, but it's fluky. They made the conference finals last year. They'll be better. They'll figure it out. I don't think so. I think last year was a one-off, and I think that this is the regression of the mean that might end up potentially, once again, being, I don't want to say the norm for the Eastern Conference, but the Eastern Conference this year is terrible, and your team's still bad. Like, the Pacers aren't really good at anything. Halliburton's been better lately. He's been a bit streaky. You've been pretty healthy so far this season, so I can't even blame injuries on it, because Mathurin was out for the entire playoff run last year. They're just not very good. And a big reason is they can't guard anybody. So until you actually get consistent stops, I'm not going to trust you to be a consistently winning team. And that's what we've seen from this team. They can't guard anybody. So that's the issue with Indiana. Defensively, they're a mess.
Just so, first of all, please, somebody, give me another browser besides Google Chrome. This isn't working out. This is not working with Google Chrome. Nonetheless, I appreciate Rick Carlisle because he gives us an easy bet when the Pacers play. We can just take the over.
Yep.
I appreciate him. However, oh wow, hey, somebody told me about that one too. Okay. However, I think it's hilarious because he's stealing a coaching opportunity from somebody out there that could be, on the bench somewhere, at home on the couch, could be doing anything than letting Rick Carlisle coach the Indiana Pacers.
Did he get an extension? He got an extension in the middle of last year. They paid him to, I don't know how long the extension was. I mean, you know my thoughts on Carlisle. I don't think he's very good. I know several Pacers fans that reach out to me on social media every time they lose a game and say, "See that? It's Rick Carlisle." I'm like, "You don't have to tell me. Like, I know about
you don't
Rick
have to tell
Carlisle.
me.
Like, you
We
don't have to tell
know.
me. I know about
Hey,
it." But
we know. Wow, holy crap! Yeah, October 2023, he signed an extension.
it's like Steve Kerr signed an extension a year or two ago, and you're like, "Are we watching the same thing?"
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this guy sucks, man. And the Pacers suck. And I don't think they're a good basketball team. You talked about how bad defensively they are. And at least the Nets have some fucking heart. At least they have
That's
some
fair.
heart. And they go out there and they're trying. I mean, the Pacers effectively just let the Toronto Raptors do whatever they wanted in that first half last night.
What did Barnes have again? Like 34 in that game?
35. Oh, it was a career high. 35.
Shout out
He
to
had a
Scotty
career high.
Barnes, though. He's had a great time since coming back. But still, Barnes killed
And
him
shout out to
offensively.
point guard Scotty Barnes as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nice that he make sure he point that out. Something that we knew. All right. Nonetheless, Scott, I'm hammering the Nets here. I am hammering the Nets in this spot. And I'm gonna take them in the first half. I'm not even gonna play with the full game. I'm gonna fade a bad first half team and take a good first half team in this Pacers and Nets game. So if you look at the Indiana Pacers, they are 7-14-1 ATS in the first half this season. I know that sounds abysmal. Oh, it can only get worse for this team. Oh, I lied. They're 7-15. 7-15 in the first half this season. 1-5 as a road favorite. They are 1-2. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1-5 as a road favorite in the first half. They are 0-3 on the second leg of a back-to-back in the first half. They are 0-5 this season when they have a rest disadvantage versus a team. Whereas you have the Brooklyn Nets, who are 15-7 in the first half this season, 5-1 as a home dog, and 4-1 when they have a rest advantage versus a team. I think that this Nets team is going to go out there. They're going to play hard and get out for the early part of this game and be able to score points on a Pacers team that just really, really isn't trying defensively. Like, actually really isn't trying defensively. I'm on a full-fledged fade of the Pacers right here, Scott.
I'm going to be with you here. Yes, the Nets still are a bit banged up, at least based on the questionable tags, but it is looking a bit more promising with Cam Johnson and with Finney Smith probably back in the lineup or at least playing in this game. Martin's been good from three. I don't know where they found him from, but he's been a good three-point shooter. Schroeder's been solid. Claxton, I'm still not the biggest fan of, but it is what it is. Point is, though, Indiana, you mentioned it as one of the points, they're a terrible back-to-back team, even dating back to last year. We talked about them on back-to-backs all the time, and they keep blowing it. In Indiana, you're looking at the actual numbers home and road. They're 2-10. 2-10 straight up on the road.
Fucking horrible.
And they're laying. I can't do it. Even if the Nets are less talented than Indiana, I think the chemistry is a lot better right now with this team. And I think that the pride, as you said before.
Is the coaching not better?
Coaching is
not a better coaching better?
Fernandez, so far, he's not going to win any accolades for it, but he's been a top 10, top 5 caliber coach in the league from what he's done with this team. He's been fantastic. And the fact that they ended up sweeping through their West Coast trip is nuts to me. With all the people that were out, Fernandez is phenomenal. Yeah. And I don't even mean that as a Nets fan.
Imagine if he has a roster.
Coach.
Imagine if he has a roster.
Very, very good coach. And I don't think Carlisle is. So give me the Nets. Pacers on a back-to-back, 2-10 on the road. I'm good. Give me the Nets.
All right, so we hear Scott's thoughts on his Brooklyn Nets on December 4th. I am interested where Scott is going to be.
When they trade half the team before the deadline?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's bring this back at the deadline. Let's talk about the Nets again at the deadline and see how Scott feels.
I warned people when the season started, though. This team was going to be better than people thought. They're not good, but damn, they're feisty. They're a lot feistier than people thought they were going to be.
Yeah, you got it. You absolutely got it. Nailed that one. All right. 225.5 is total. I have no idea why this is going down. It was at 227.5. It is what it is. I'm still on the over. Can't take it under with Indiana.
I'll just take the Nets team total over.
Good play. Good call.
Does the Pacers maybe no-show the game on a back-to-back?
That's what happened yesterday, too. The under hit by like 3 points. It was at 236.5. It came in at 233, but the Raptors flew over their team total. All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, got to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has a big menu of the NBA, NFL, college football, basketball, MMA, WNBA, all of those other fantasy projections, all of that stuff you want and more. They have special boost and you can get specials and boost on flex entries. You can get all of that stuff. You can do a lot. We're going to give out an Underdog lineup at the end of the show, as always. So stick around for that. Make sure you use that promo code NBASGPN. But hey, you could sign up during the show right now and be ready by the time we get to Underdog by the end of the show. So promo code NBASGPN. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBASGPN. We're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities available up there, so go check them out. And it's easy to use and great for people that may not be in a state where traditional sports books online are. And so, hey, go ahead, download the Rebet app in the App Store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. That is Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right, Jordan, I like the first half better. I think
the trends are pretty crazy for that first half for Indiana. The trends are pretty nuts.
Yeah, the trends are really insane where I just kind of went back the first half. But I'm not going to lie. If there is some crazy reason that first half doesn't hit, I'm probably going to jump back in on the whole game money line for the Nets. So the only thing that could really, really mess me up today is a complete rout by the Pacers. But I am just so out on this Pacers team, like completely out on the Pacers. All right, Luis, what up? Here we go. Next game on the schedule, we have the Orlando Magic going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Magic are laying 5.5. 207.5 is total injury report. And we have Gogo Batadze was scratched late yesterday, so we'll see what's up with him today. Gary Harris is actually a game time decision. Oh, no, that was yesterday. So, I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. I'm not expecting to see him anytime soon. We know we're not seeing Paolo Banchero, who I don't know if you saw a video of Paolo Banchero recently, but he was like in this store doing like a shopping haul for a bunch of kids and stuff like that.
He thought the guy was like 10 years old and the guy was 21.
He was 19.
He was 19,
He was
whatever.
like,
That's
he was
rough.
like, bro, you don't, because he said Yao Ming, and then the names that he said Yao Ming. Who was it? It was another name he saw, but the Yao Ming stuck out because I'm like, dang, like, was that long ago for real? But he
Yeah.
was like, man, you probably ain't even old enough to see them. He was like, bro, I'm 19, and he had a deep voice too, bro. I'm 19. Like
I
he
did
made
see
it
that.
deeper, bro. I'm 19. And he was like, oh, my bad. I'm only 22. I thought you was.
It's the problems when you're like 6'7", is that everyone else, like, to you probably looks like they're still potentially in high school or like below that. And yeah, the guy wasn't
Oh,
that tall, but
dude, you gotta see my picture when I went to. Was it you that took the picture for me? I don't think it was you. It was somebody else.
why would
I
I?
don't
I
think.
don't remember ever taking
No,
a
because
photo
we were
for
in
you.
Vegas one time, but I just don't
Oh,
remember if it was the time we were in Vegas or the time I was in Vegas with somebody else.
but
But
I misspoke. Moncaro's 6'10", so everybody by comparison looks like they're probably in middle school or high school. So kind of
yeah,
probably, meshes that way. But whatever.
nonetheless, I was there during the WNBA playoffs and saw Jonquil Jones in the circa. I guess they were staying there. She might have been walking back to her room, but stopped for a picture. And yeah, completely sunned me. As a guy that's 6'1", absolutely sunned me. Never felt like I had been sunned like that before by by many, many people, but definitely Jocko Jones, true, 6'7". Probably undercutting herself a little bit,
Mm.
honestly. All right, let's get back to the game. We
That's
have
WNBA champion John Cole Jones, by the way, just to be clear.
you said what?
That's WNBA champion John Cole Jones.
Yeah.
So,
WNBA Finals MVP, Jonquil Jones.
Yep.
Whew. Money. Oh man, appreciate the cash and the money. What a nice little trip down memory lane for the WNBA Gambling Podcast here. All right. Orlando's laying 5.5, 207.5 is the total. There's really nothing to talk about here. That's why I was just kind of talking about everything else. We're taking Orlando, right?
I think we have to. I mean, both teams had pretty interesting games yesterday where the Sixers were in a dogfight. They were winning, but comfortably for most of the way through. Paul George came back, had a massive knee brace. Massive knee brace. It was crazy. I don't know if he's going to play on a back-to-back in his first step back. I doubt it.
No way.
But the point is the game
No
was
shot.
close. So he had to play
No
a lot.
shot, Paul George
The
plays.
Magic were in a weird spot where the Knicks killed them, but they had to keep trying for point differential in the NBA Cup, and I live bet them in the fourth quarter and they covered, so I appreciate it. But the point is the Magic had to keep using their starters by getting their asses kicked. So you have a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes yesterday, but I think Orlando is the objectively better team. So I'm going to go with Orlando because I think defensively they have a certain gear.
Yep.
I don't mind the under in this game. You have two potentially exhausted teams that have been playing better
I don't know,
defense
Scott.
lately. What?
I think I would only look at Philly team total under. I just there's a chance that Orlando could run up 120 on them.
There's a chance. I just think that Orlando, once again, used a lot of guys for a lot of minutes because they had to keep trying. So I'm wondering if maybe they take it off mentally and you get yourself a bit of an ugly slugfest, which we might end up getting. But I got to go with Orlando. I can't back Philly at this point in time. We'll see what happens. But I'd assume Paul George is going to be out just based on the size of the knee brace and the minutes he played yesterday. I am not expecting him to suit up. In fact, he's already ruled out for this game. So he's not going to play. Drummond's out too. So they don't really have a center. Batadze might play. We'll see what happens. But I'll go with Orlando. They're better. But this game might be a close, ugly game. That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Sorry, talking shit to Louise in the chat.
All I know is the John Quell tickets all cash the same. So that's what it is.
All good money.
Well, Luis Assault, he had a Lynx title ticket from a couple months back, and he got host on that. Yeah, plus 3,000.
I know he's sick about it. I don't care.
Yeah, just saying that's why.
Hey man, you should have hedged with Jonquil Jones MVP. You've been amazing. Set right. Nah, don't hedge. We're not gardeners. All right. Yeah, dog. Orlando's such a lock here. I'm sorry. Philly sucks, man. Hey, did you see the TikTok of Jared McCain
with Kyle Lowry? You didn't know what the hell was happening. I mean, that is a tremendous Kyle Lowry, like, old head vibe because he didn't know what the hell was happening.
I gotta pull it up.
You definitely know that McCain like went up to Kyle Lowry and said, "Can you help me do a TikTok?" And then he looked at him like, "What is a TikTok?" Like he completely is out of the loop. There's no way Kyle Lowry actually knew anything about TikTok when he asked him.
I know I can pull this up. I know I can do it. I see them do it on the college experience all the time. I can do this. Wait.
It's extreme old head
vibe.
Yes.
Yes.
But you found it?
No. As soon as I went on to X/Twitter. I saw that the North Carolina A&T Aggies have fired their football coach today.
Okay.
Great job. Great job. Great. It's a lot of people that don't care about that. Great job. Great job. All right, let me go. Jared, where's the let me see. Let me find the TikTok for the people so they can see in case somebody's watching the show and hadn't seen the TikTok. Ah, here it is. All right. So, how do I do this? I know I can do this.
I think you have
Present,
to present. Yeah.
share screen. Okay. Now let's no. Wait. I got to do it on this browser.
Okay.
I'm on a separate browser.
I'm afraid your
Chrome
browser's going to
sucks.
crash if you try to do that on this browser.
I'm afraid it's going to.
So you want to just skip it and we can save it for another time, maybe?
No, man, I'm pulling it up. I'm
You want to
pulling
go
it up.
for it? All right, cool.
We're going to go on to the next game. I'm pulling it up.
I'm just saying, if you lag out, I'm going on without you. That's all I'm saying.
All right, it's fine. It's perfectly
Okay.
fine. It's perfectly fine. All right, well, first, before we do that, I got to go ahead and go through the ad read. So, mybookie.ag. We're back. We're back with mybookie.ag. Shout out to the people. Hey, I'm curious. Who were the real ones? Who were the real ones that were down with SGPN all the way back in the beginning when MyBookie was running things around here? Well, they're back, and they have a new awesome menu of props. They have live dealer casino as well, new and improved website, and they're great on the mobile app as well. So make sure you tap in with mybookie.ag. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting down on Orlando Magic -5.5 on MyBookie for sure. For sure. I am so confident in the Orlando Magic today that, hey, you might even hear about them at the end of the show. Just might. So make sure you go tap in with mybookie.ag. Head over there, use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That is mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Make sure you lock into the Rhythm Labs and start cooking up your rhythm models. You know, I got Braun Breaker always in the tunnel, ready to go. Let's see here. Let's lock in the Rhythm and see if let's get a prop. Let's get a prop today, Scott. It's been a while since I've done a prop here with Rhythm, so let's lock in with the. All right, there we go. Their nice menu of NBA props. Let's see. Do we want to? What are we looking for, Scott? You want a blocks and steals prop?
They really do love their blocks and steals props.
Oh, they absolutely love the blocks and steals prop. We're gonna give out a blocks and steals prop because we never really do that. Let's see. What's a good one? All right, let's go with the top one. Bogdan Bogdanović under half a block and steal, Scott. They're just saying you're not doing anything defensively.
It's plus 160.
Plus 160. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with it. Rhythm has that at a 75.1% win probability for a plus 160 bet. And first of all, I just want you to know, Rhythm's calling their shot. Rhythm is calling their shot here. Plus 160. They give it a 75.1% win probability. I like Bogdan Bogdanović under half a block and steal. And it's an amazing sweat, Scott. Just because he can ruin this at any point in the game. Any random point in the game, he can ruin this. So really excited about this one. Make sure you go get that 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right. Guess what? I got it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And I'm still here.
I mean, at least Lowry tried to do some like driving type of
Man.
there, but Lowry did not want to be there. I don't know what Lowry's I forgot what Lowry's contract is, but that was not in the contract. He's gonna have to renegotiate.
Oh, I'm so glad that he had to deal with that because I fucking hate Kyle Lowry. So like, I'm so glad that and it looks like they sit together. Wait, do they sit together in the locker room?
No, my guess is their lockers are probably next to each other, and they just had
it's either they're next to each other on a regular,
or
and he has to deal with that all the time, or he walked all the way over to Kyle Lowry.
I imagine Lowry was getting some like ankle taping done or something, like some knee whatever, and then McCain just was like, "Oh, he can't move, so I'm just going to take advantage of it." So that's how it's going to go. But yeah, Kyle Lowry is kind of like me when it comes to TikTok. I don't get it, but it's popular, so he just went along with the ride.
The youth nowadays are hilarious, man. The youth nowadays, we can say it. We're another generation. We can say it. The youth nowadays are hilarious. The Detroit Pistons are on the road going to play the Boston Celtics. Celtics are laying 14.5 here. 221 is the total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Pistons, doesn't look like I have an injury report. Nothing. Good to go. And the Drew Holiday is a game time decision. Jason Tatum is questionable as well.
I can't lay this.
Yeah.
I've seen Boston laying this type of spread. I think it was like 16 most of the time when they would lose outright or be in overtime with Toronto. But Detroit got killed yesterday at home by Milwaukee in a pretty meaningful game. I think it's a good get-up spot for Detroit. If you want to talk about actual film breakdown and like coaches getting on players, it was a great spot for Bickerstaff to kind of just, I don't want to say unload on his guys, but at least to kind of roast his guys for a bad effort. I think it's a good get-up spot for Detroit. They were awful, especially defensively against Milwaukee. Giannis missed one shot in the entire game. Didn't play the entire fourth quarter. He could have potentially had like 35, 10, and 10, but they pulled them early. They were atrocious defensively. I think it's a good get-up spot for the Pistons after getting embarrassed on their home floor yesterday. I think it's a pretty decent spot for Detroit to at least show some effort. They've given Boston some problems over the years. They haven't won these games. They've been competitive against this team. I'm going to go with the Pistons plus the points. Jaylen Brown's been banged up. You said Tatum's questionable. They beat Miami comfortably because Miami without Jimmy Butler can't score. It's a lot of points. I'm going to go with Detroit plus the points.
You ain't never gotta talk me into fate in Boston.
Boston can still win, but 13.5's a lot.
And I really think Detroit is like been competitive. Like, and look at it, they covered this in the last meeting. So that's also a good thing. Like they only lost by 8. Is that
They almost won outright
6.
last year when they were arguably the worst team of all time, or 2 years ago.
They did.
That happened.
I remember that was a 128-122 game. Very much so. However, nonetheless, I'm perfectly fine fading them. That's fine with me. I don't have anything to worry about there. So, all right. I think that, yeah, somebody said it earlier. Jalen Duren versus the Celtics. That's the play for me.
Well, you love taking opposing centers against Boston.
Yep, gotta take those centers against Celtics, man. They're so good defensively that they're just like, oh, well, you got to give it up somewhere. We might as well just give it up to the center. That's not going to affect the game, and they do. They constantly do. It's a good spot. So yeah, I love backing Jalen Duren today. His points are at 8.5 too. This is like the lowest his points have been. I've been betting his points at like 10.5, 11.5. They're at 8.5 too. So definitely room on the over for there.
Yeah. See, Dennis asking about Tatum for KOTC. He's questionable. So once again,
we got to start giving out our KOTC picks too.
I'm just going to go pure chalk because Giannis plays the Hawks later. We'll get into that later. But I think Tatum's got a shot at it. But with him being questionable and all, I would probably go elsewhere. I think he'll have a good game, but
I think the defense, because I really do think that the Pistons are really solid defensively, and I like what Bickerstaff has done, turning them around, like complete.
Not
180.
yesterday. That's why I think he'll be pissed. I expect a better defensive effort in this game.
Yeah. So, all right. Tatum is interesting, but yeah, Giannis is even more interesting because the Milwaukee Bucks are at home welcoming the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are catching 4 on the road. 236.5 is the total injury report here. And the Bucks played yesterday. Don't have anything there. Good to go. For the Hawks, Trae Young is probable with right Achilles tendonitis. Likely he's gonna play. All right. Yeah, this Hawks team. Yeah, I'm still really good on the Hawks, man.
I got to give them props though. They've been good the last week. I watched them play.
They won 4 games. They're really all right.
They've got 4 games for Atlanta is an accomplishment because they lost back-to-back games to the Wizards. That's an accomplishment to win 4 straight. But watching them play, they've been good. Defensively, they've been better. Main reason, Trae, who I've roasted for a while, being a pretty inefficient scorer, has shot the ball less. He has shot the ball significantly less.
Yeah, he has. I actually took a Trae Young points over with DeJounte Murray double-double in that game against the Pelicans.
Dan
Eh,
DeJounte was awful after the first quarter. That's a separate
Yeah,
story.
it's fucking
But
ridiculous. He was horrible. He couldn't buy a bucket. Like he
no,
was
not at all.
fucking, it's fucking horrible. But yeah, Trae Young definitely shooting the ball less.
Yeah, I'm just saying the passing has always been there, the vision's been there, but the shot selection's been questionable. And Trey addressed it by only taking better shots. Like he stopped kind of chucking it from career range for the most part. He'll do one of them per game. But the volume has drastically gone down, and they've been winning. So props to Trey for at least recognizing it. I don't know if Quinn Snyder told him to shoot less, but it's been a big reason for this team's, I'd say, relevance recently. Jalen Johnson's been cooking. DeAndre Hunter's been good. Bogdanovich has been a solid option off the bench. I think this team's starting to figure it out a bit more. Are they good? Good might be a stretch. They're fine. They're fine.
Good might be a stretch.
Then they beat Cleveland back-to-back games. Props there. I got to give them props for that. They were able to win a couple games in a row, beat the Pelicans, had a hard time covering. They did in the end, but they've looked better. And I got to give them their flowers because I don't want to say turned it around, but they've definitely looked a lot more competent than they did about 2 weeks ago.
Dog. Okay, so I think every team has that team that they just one up. No matter how good, how bad they are, they just one up that team. I think that this year, the team that they just one up is clearly the Cavs. Clearly the Cavs. So if I take that out of the equation, they beat the Hornets with no LaMelo, and they only scored 107 points. And then they beat the Pelicans, who are going through just everything they're going through this season. I'm not impressed, personally. I do think the Cavs wins are impressive, but I think that's just a one-off, and the Cavs just kind of I don't know. I think they just got the Cavs number. Nonetheless, I'm still fading this team. I think they're horrible defensively. I think we got 3 games where the team did not cross their team total over. This is the one that the Bucks begin to score again because they've been scoring over the past 5 games. Look at their team totals. 128 yesterday against Detroit. 124 against Washington. Yeah, they had a 106 against Miami. Really, really good defensive team. 125 against Charlotte. 129 against the Pacers. You give them a bad defense, they're going to put up 120 plus points. So I love the Bucks team total over today. I think that Bucks -4 is going to be the play for me just because I'm not taking this Atlanta Hawks team. I'm just not taking this Atlanta Hawks team. I don't think that they're legitimately competitive in games, and they just don't play any defense. So I like the Bucks team total over more than I like the spread, but I'm on Bucks here. It is clear for me.
Yeah, I think for this one, I am going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to go prop-based on this one. Give me Trae Young under points at 21.5. 21.5 is high for a guy that really has not been shooting as much as I'd say people think he has. And the efficiency has still not been great, by the way. Like last game against New Orleans, 5 for 16. 4 for 9 the game prior, 7 of 12, 6 of 18. So the percentages, once again, are still not good. He's just shooting the ball less. So if you've been taking his under on points, he's gone under 21.5 in 5 straight. He's gone under 21.5 in 8 of the last 10. It's a lot of points. Trey, we know, is more of a facilitator, and it's been working out for the assists. I see that being mentioned in the comment section about how Trey's been hitting 10 assists in every game. But the Hawks have been a lot better defensively over the last week or two. They have been, just watching them play. Now,
they played the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Hornets stink, and the Pelicans are awful.
They haven't been,
that is a factor. They were very good against Cleveland in that back-to-back. The first game defensively, they were not good.
Playing good defense.
They were better in the second game. Watching them play, they have been better defensively. Are they a good defensive team? I didn't say that. They have been improved at least over the last week in that area, but now they got Giannis coming to town.
I don't think, and that's the thing. I don't think they're improved. As me watching it, I don't see good defense. I see bad offense, and I think that this is the trap. This is the trap of people believing that the Hawks are going to be better defensively, and they're not. They're not. We've been through this Quinn Snyder. Like, please don't let Quinn Snyder get you misconstrued. Yes, every single bad defensive team can have a run of 3 games where things start to go their way. But guess what? They always fall back into it. This is the Atlanta Hawks we are talking about. I don't know why anybody would let them confuse them to be any different. This team is going to go back to their horrible defensive losing ways, and I love it because they're getting a good matchup against a team that's been scoring the basketball great over the past week. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm going with Milwaukee because they've been one of the hottest teams in the league, and it seems like Doc Rivers and the team have actually turned it around. And they were able to sit Giannis for the entire fourth quarter yesterday, so not exactly word on the back-to-back angle. I think from the eye test, some of it has to do with competition. I'm aware of it. I think Atlanta has been better defensively over the last couple of weeks, but yes, they were against the Hornets with no LaMelo, and yes, they were against the Pelicans who stink. Shout out to Alfred Payton, by the way, who got waived after having 20-plus assists in a game. But the point is, I think Atlanta's been better. Milwaukee's been really good. I think Milwaukee's starting to look like the team that we thought potentially they would be when the season started. Long term, we'll see if they can keep it together. But I'm going to go with Milwaukee at home. They've been, the hottest team in the league?
Yeah.
So I'll go with Milwaukee. The Trae Young under points is mostly just based on the identity that Atlanta started to morph into. Trae's turned into, I don't want to say like a Chris Paul comparison, but he's kind of looking to shoot second, and he's trying to pass first, which I never thought I'd say about Trae Young. But it's resulted in wins. So I'll go with the under on his points.
Any concern that they are in Milwaukee and Trae Young sees himself a little bit much as a villain?
I mean, of course, but I have to at least point out that the efficiency for Trae this season offensively has been abysmal. Like, Trae has been great if you've been betting on his actual assists per game. He's averaging over 12 per game, which is ridiculous. He's shooting 38.8% from the floor and 32.2% from three. He can't shoot. It's his lowest field goal percentage in a season by 3%. And that was his rookie season, by the way. 3%. He can't shoot. 38.8% from the floor? That's a joke. Give me the under points on Trae.
Yeah. Over. You guys can fall into the trap of Atlanta turning the corner.
And JR touching upon it, his ribs are messed up. I said that weeks ago.
Either way, what's not wrong with Trae Young? I don't want to hear that. It's always something wrong with him. You just gotta it's literally always something wrong.
Yeah, Jerry, you said he's wrecking. Yeah, he's wrecking through passing. He can't score. So yeah, I'll take the under on points and the over on assists.
Stop paying JR any attention. All JR does is bet double props, and he calls himself a Hawks fan. All right.
He's more of a hockey guy, to be fair. But,
Oh, man. The Timberwolves are on the road going to play the Los Angeles Clippers. Timberwolves are laying 3. Wow. 213.5 is the total. Injury report here, and we have nothing for the Timberwolves. They just played yesterday, didn't they?
The Timberwolves?
No, the Clippers. The Clippers played yesterday, so I don't have anything for the Clippers. So we'll see. Trey Mann fractured his finger. He's more than likely not going to play because he fractured his finger.
I can't believe he's still on the Clippers, but that's a whole separate story. Been trade rumors for 5 years. Dropped 40 in a closeout.
I'm sorry, I said Trey Mann. Terrence Mann.
He dropped 40 in a closeout game against Utah like 5 years ago, and he's somehow still on the team. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. So,
Kevin Porter Jr. game time decision as well. Kobe Brown as well. We'll see what goes on with their injury report. No Rob Dillingham for the Minnesota. Everybody else good to go. All right. Yeah. I kind of just want to take Clippers because
they did play yesterday, though, so you have to wonder if fatigue.
And maybe that's the three. And maybe that's why the 3 points are going. Excuse me. The 3 points are going towards Minnesota here, but.
I mean, for reference, by the way, they won by 22. Harden played 32 minutes. Every other starter played less than 29. So they managed the minutes pretty well yesterday.
These two teams just played on the 29th. Timberwolves got a win, 93-92. I mean, the Clippers have been good. Like, the Clippers have been really solid.
They're 14-9. They're a good team.
Yeah, handling business, too, as well. A lot of shit was talked about the Clippers preseason, and they're still looking really good this far into the year. So, Clippers, I think, really solid team. I love how they look defensively, and I just don't know what I'm going to get day in, day out with this Minnesota Timberwolves squad. Like, yeah, they play better defense at home, but on the road, they're actually pretty abysmal. 3-6 straight up, 4-5 ATS. They're 6-13 as a favorite this year. Like, I've really, really struggled trying to get behind Minnesota here. Can you talk me off of the Clippers? I just say we take Clippers +3.
So part of it's going to be based on them being on a back-to-back. The other part's going to be Minnesota killing the Lakers and people still thinking the Lakers are good because they won that game by 29 points. So It's going to be twofold. Now, Ant called out his entire team, calling them soft, and they came out and they gave up 80 points. So you could argue maybe that was the wake-up call they needed. I don't buy that. I think the Lakers suck, and they were on a back-to-back, and LeBron looked like he was 40 years old. So it is what it is. So I think it was a bad spot for the Lakers, and Minnesota killed them. So for this game, I'm going to keep it simple. Just give me the under in this game.
Hmm.
I think these teams are going to kill each other. You mentioned the first meeting of the season was a 1-point game, and that game ended up landing in the 180s.
Yep.
I think you said it was 93-92. It was about a week ago in Minnesota.
Yep.
Why do I think this game would reach 215? Like, these teams are going to play slow. They'll be physical. These teams are going to kill each other, especially down the stretch. Give me the under. 213, 214.5. Really? I'll go with the under. They just combined for 185. For the side, I got no opinion. I'd go with the, I can't say lean because that's banned on the show. I'll go with the Clippers if I had to pick, but I'll stay away from it entirely. Give me the under. I think at least one of these defenses shows up, maybe both. But we just saw these teams kill each other in a rock fight. I'll go with the same exact script. Give me the under in the game.
Timberwolves second in opponents' points per game allowed over the last 5 games, 102.2 points per game. The Clippers are 8th at 108.4. Both really, really solid in terms of defensive rating. The Clippers dominate the offensive glass, and I think that's the reason. That's going to be the little sway over there to make me feel a lot better about the Clippers. Is I think they'll have a lot more opportunities dominating the offensive glass because Rudy Gobert is very, very, very unserious. Nonetheless,
by the way, for pace, the Clippers are ranked 21st and the Timberwolves ranked 25th. So I expect a half-court war. I'll go with the under.
Yeah, I like the under too. I like Clippers +3. I like Clippers on the money line as well. I'm just kind of over this Minnesota team. They're a 500 ball club to me.
I'm getting a women's tennis question in the comment section.
Ooh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be fully honest with you.
Can you pronounce those names?
Yeah, so I mostly cover men's, but that's Fruvertova, who I do know of. I do know of that person. And you have Bolkvadze, who I don't really know much about, to be honest. But I mostly cover men's tennis. So I think it's pretty solid. I mean, Fruvertova I know of. She tends to be pretty undervalued in the markets, so that could be an option. But I don't know about the other person, full disclosure. David seems to love it. He's a big fan. But plus 200? Yeah, why not?
I would have never said those names correctly.
JR, I'm on vacation for tennis. I'm waiting for the men's tennis to come back, so we'll see what happens. But should be back in about a week and a half. So if you want some tennis content.
All right. Let's do this. Lock, dog, underdog. Let's see here. Lock, Hawks, Bucks over 236.5. Dog, Orlando Magic 11+ win margin. Scott, I don't know what the price is on that win margin, but I'm gonna play it.
Do you want me to pull that up for you now, or you want to do that?
If you could, it'd be very well. I can try to find it.
No, I already got it up. What did you say your lock was though?
Lock, Hawks, Bucks over 236.5. Very easy here. Like not even. I mean, it's really, really easy. We're taking the over against the Hawks. The Hawks.
Yeah, so Magic 11+ is plus 170.
Plus 170. Yeah, absolutely. Magic 11+ because I think Philadelphia sucks and they're horrible.
Okay.
And I'm perfectly fine just hammering. I wanted to make Orlando Magic -5.5 my lock, but I mean that over was just calling me. So I'm back in the Magic and I'm back in the over in the Hawks and Bucks game. That's me today.
Yeah, so with Paul George being out, by the way, can I get the over on Mr. TikTok shot attempts in the game today? Because he's been off the bench. He was good yesterday. I think he'll jack up a bunch of shots. For my lock on the show, honestly, the card I thought was fine. I didn't think the card was amazing by any means, but I'll go with the under in that Timberwolves and Clippers game. I think it's too high at 214.5. They just combined the total 185 about a week ago. Both play slow. It wasn't even like a fluky one quarter killed the total. Each quarter had less than 52 points. Each of the last 3 quarters had less than 50. These teams are going to kill each other physically. Give me the under. I see an absolute scrum, and I think you're going to see a very low-scoring game. So give me the under at 214.5 as my lock on that one. I think that's a pretty solid option there. And for my dog on the show, did I actually like any moneyline dogs? Not really. Thought about the Nets. Nets 1 to 10 could be interesting, actually. That's basically it. I think Atlanta could be live today, but Giannis is just too good. I don't really want to bet against Milwaukee right now. So I think if I was going to go for anything, I mean, the Nets could be intriguing. Let me just quickly see if I could find any props that I'm tempted by. Because I stumbled into a solid steals and blocks prop last episode with Giddey that got there. What do I want to go with for this one? That's 140. It actually is a pretty low number if I actually want to do it. Now Milwaukee's been good. I mean, a Dyson Daniels assist I thought about at 2.5. That could be interesting. You know what? I think I'll actually go with 2 plays in the. I don't want to go with that. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something at the
No,
last
you're
minute
good.
here. What do I
think you
want to
should go
go with?
next.
You know what? Yeah, you're probably right on that. It might be interesting, but let me just quickly check something out for the position rankings. No, yeah, okay. I think I'm not going to waste too many people's
No,
time.
go ahead.
with
I'm about to give out another bet.
It's fine. I'm saying no. I won't waste anybody's time. I'm trying to find like the right prop because that might take some time. Instead, for this one, I'll do it because I do not like the Pacers on a back-to-back. Give me the Nets 1-10 plus 230. Like what a bargain! 230 is nuts. Yeah, I'll fade the team that is 2 road wins the
Yo.
entire season. Give me Nets 1-10. Fading team on a back-to-back at plus 230.
Yeah, man, pieces suck. All right, let's look at Underdog.
Breaking news according to Adam, there are 2 for Vertovas. Whoops, my bad. I know the good one. I don't know if that's the good one or the bad one. So thanks, Adam. Whoops,
Yeah, like is that the good one or is
My
that the
bad.
bad one? Oh man. All right. Let's get Jalen Duren in the Underdog lineup. Let's see here. Let's add Duren.
By the way,
How do we
Sean, the
want
Pacers could win tonight, but 1-10 for the Nets at plus 230. That pricing is wild. It's a wild price. I got to take that for the value.
Scott, how do we want to play Jalen Duren? We can go the
Points.
rebounds. I mean,
Sit
these are just.
8.5.
By the way, this is the latter player of the day. The rebounds are at 8.5. The points are at 7.5. The double is at higher 1.98x spicy. That's 2x for Jalen Duren to get a double, basically.
Yeah. You want to do it?
Yeah, man. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. Let's swing for
it. Bro, they even have a spicy on the points and rebounds. 17.5 points and rebounds is 1.05x spicy. What's going on here? What is going on? We're taking the double. All right, Jalen Duren, higher, half a double. Play number 1. Let's see what else we got here, Scott.
I don't know what else you really want to take.
Mr. TikTok.
Sure.
Is he on here?
Well, let's go with his threes if they have him Kane.
I don't see him up here, man.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I would have liked him.
His threes though are going to be the play later today.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to add that later, go with his threes. Giannis is always a good play. I feel like he always does right by us.
Yeah. Well, he's also, in my opinion, the only guy that can give Joker a run for his money for MVP. So, yeah.
Yeah. How we want to play it?
PR? Don't just go PRA? Just pick him to go crazy?
44.5 on the PR.
What the hell is PRA? Like 50? 50.5?
51.5.
He has been good against Atlanta in years past.
I'm fine with 44.5. I mean, we backed him at 44.5.
Yeah, let's do 44.5. That's fine.
It's Giannis. You know what you get with Giannis.
We know Brook Lopez doesn't rebound, so that's fine.
All right, we got Giannis. Let's see here. We need one more. Who wants to be the Wendell Carter? Let's go with Wendell Carter. I know
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
You can't stand Wendell Carter. What the hell is happening right now?
I know, but look, yesterday, I mean, it's no Drummond, it's no Embiid, and yesterday Nick Richards went for 22 and 14.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd rather just say Yabusele's rebounds if I had to choose, because I think he had 12 yesterday.
He did. It's at 7.5, and it's at 1.1. Okay, yeah,
I prefer that one because there is a chance that you get Batadze back in the lineup, and Carter ends up getting a pretty rough spot because of it. There's no guarantee Batadze's out, so I'd rather go Yabusele.
All right, I like it, and it's spicy too. Wow, what? Okay, so Jalen Duren, half a double. We have Giannis at higher 44.5 points and rebounds, and we have Yabusele at higher 7.5 rebounds, 1.1x spicy there too. Scott, 13.06x. $100 gets you $1,306 on this Underdog lineup, Scott. Oh, we're paying for a lot of stuff with this one. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. That's NBA SGPN. Yeah, plus 260 for a Jalen Duren double. It's crazy. All right. With that, Scott, that's it. I have nothing else. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, not really. I don't do the show on Thursday. I don't do the show on Friday. So I'll see you all next week.
Wait, no. I think this is your Thursday to do it.
I'm doing Thursday?
I mean, because I did. Did I not do last Thursday,
Sure.
or did you do
Alright.
last Thursday? No,
I
we
did-
didn't.
I-
Nobody did last Thursday because
No, we didn't have a show last Thursday. So that's why I assumed you were going to take it.
Oh, all right. I guess I'm back here
Do
tomorrow.
you want me to take it? Because I can take it if you want me to.
It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Okay, whatever. Point is, I may or may not be here tomorrow. If not,
One of
I'll see
us,
you next week.
one of us is going to be here tomorrow, and the
I
other
forgot
is
that we
not.
do the rotating schedule for Thursday. We didn't have a show yet last week, so whatever.
Or hey, well, how many games are tomorrow? It's probably a lot.
Probably a lot because there weren't
Yeah,
many today.
it's not a lot today. All right. Well, no, we'll talk about it afterwards. All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really real __. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you all. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. Drop a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. All of that. And yeah, I will 100% pay the W refs next season. 100%. I will not pay them for the Phoenix Mercury though. I'll pay them for. Hey, by the way, shout out to the Toronto Tempo. Toronto Tempo.
That's
Shout out
actually a
to
good
the-
name.
Yeah, I really do. I really like it. But I also think it's hilarious that they like leaked the name on accident.
I got an issue, by the way, with the Valkyries logo because it looks too similar to the Aces. Just throwing that
Now I
out
got to
there.
look at it again. I never thought about that. I have to look at it again.
The logo's a little bit too similar for color scheme, at least. So
Yeah. All right. With that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end like this. We are out of here.